Day 2, Martin Newman here, the customer experience champion in the heart of Manhattan. I am in Times Square. This is the center of the universe for retailing in the Western world. And I am really looking forward to all the different experiences I'm going to have today as I go through all the big retail brands here in Manhattan and find out what the levels of service are like compared to the UK.
So thank you.
50% off today, right?
Wow, off everything?
No, select styles, okay?
Select styles.
Sure.
Right, I'll look out for those, thank you. Hello. Hi, do you do ship from store? So if I order something, you can send it to my house, or?
Yeah, you just have to go to the cash register and they'll do it for you.
Right.
Like if you want something that's in the store but you don't have your size,
Yep.
you just grab it and they'll order it for you online and you'll give them your address and everything.
Right, and but also if you have something in store that I want and I buy, can I leave that with you and you can ship it to my house? You know, if you do that?
No, you can only do that if you have it altered in the tailor shop.
Ah, right, okay.
And you pay for shipping and they can send it to you.
Right, okay. And do you do click and collect? Can I order online and pick it up in store? Do you know?
I don't know if we do that.
Right, okay.
I know you can order stuff to the store, but
Yeah.
I don't know if we can do it like
If you do that, okay. No problem. Thanks for your help. Cheers.
So I've just been into the Levi store in Times Square, New York, and overall it was a pretty good customer experience, but there's definitely some opportunities for Levi's to improve things. The things that worked well, I was greeted when I came into the store and told there was a 50% discount on the day of selected items. That was great. There's some really effective size guides and fit guides to help you choose the right style of jean for you, which is great, because obviously Levi's have lots of different styles. There's charging ports if you want to charge your iPhone. You can sit down and just take your weight off and relax for a bit. Some of the opportunities where I think Levi's are leaving cash on the table, very large queues, which is a good sign, but not a good sign when people abandon their baskets because they can't be bothered waiting. So there's an opportunity for Levi's to use technology to enable customers to pay and get out of the store quicker. The staff, when I was asking them about the multi-channel proposition, their feedback was a bit inconsistent, so they didn't necessarily know whether Levi's do click and collect, whether or not I could order in the store and have it shipped to my house. So I think there's a wee bit of training there to be done. Overall, I would give Levi's 7 out of 10 for the experience I've just had. Hi, thank you. Thank you. Because I'm only in the middle of doing that, but do you guys do ship from store? If I was to order some stuff?
Yes, you could do it at any of the registers, but the station for ship from the store is downstairs.
Ah, right, there's actually a station down there. Great, fantastic, thank you. All right, thank you. Excuse me, can I, do you do ship from store? If I order stuff in the store, can I have it shipped to my house? You ask them there? Do you know what the service is? No. Right. Okay, no problem. So I've just been into the Forever 21 store in Times Square, New York, and it was a bit of a mixed bag in terms of my experience. First of all, I was greeted on the way in by the security guard and one of the colleagues in the store. That was nice. When I asked the staff in store about the multi-channel proposition, I was asking them if they do ship from store. He told me yes. When I asked him if he knew the service level behind that, he said no, and directed me to the point of sale to go and talk to somebody at the checkout. So I don't think that was quite as good as it might have been. The visual merchandising in store I thought was a bit inconsistent, whether that was around finding the right size or calling out new styles or best-selling styles. And also it's a very large store. There's 3 or 4 floors, and there's a lot of empty floor space, which just made me feel as if they could be doing a lot more with product to engage customers in the store. There was a photo booth that consumers could engage with. But overall, I didn't think it was as engaging an experience as I was expecting. I would give Forever 21 5 out of 10 for the experience I've just had in their store in Times Square.
Brilliant. Love that. Excuse me, do you do ship from store? If I ordered stuff?
We don't have anything available as of yet.
But you will do at some point, hopefully, or?
Yes, we've only been open about 6 months, so
Ah.
we're still trying to figure out some things.
Right.
But
What about click and collect and all that?
I'm sorry?
Click and collect? You don't click, you know, if I order online?
We don't have that available online either.
Oh, really?
Everything we do is list the products. This is the first flagship store. Usually our products are sold in pharmacies, and it's not
got
the
you.
entire collection.
Got you. All right, thank you. Right, what's upstairs?
A little bit more retail and a couple of virtual experiences.
All right, let's go see that.
Welcome to our beauty table. What product are you looking for?
Eyeliner. Eyeliner.
Enjoy the store. Talk to a Covergirl beauty via phone if you need anything else.
Very cool. Thank you.
So here I am at Times Square and I've just been into the Covergirl store. What a fantastic customer experience. For those of you that don't know, Covergirl is a brand that's normally sold and available through other retailers' stores. This is their first go at having their own standalone store. And they've really thought about what do we need to do in order to deliver a brilliant customer experience. The use of technology really drives not only engagement, but it helps to sell product. It's very experiential. The staff are there to provide a fantastic experience. They were very warm, very knowledgeable. They're providing beauty and makeup tips in store. All in all, I would give them 10 out of 10 for a wonderful customer experience.
Hey. Go, man. Hi, sorry. How does the whole Birchbox thing work? Can somebody tell me?
Basically fill your own Birchbox.
Yeah.
So you choose any 5 items from the whole assortment.
Yeah.
And it's only $15. But if you actually subscribe, you make either 3 months, 6 months, or a year, you can build a box for free. So
How much
after
does it cost
you
to
do a
subscribe?
Okay, so if you do a 3-month subscription, it's
Yeah.
$45.
Right.
And you can actually build a Birchbox for free. So you still choose any 5 items, it's only
Right.
$45.
Okay, that's cool. Do you have the men's products in the
Yes,
store
we
as
have
well?
men's
Oh, you do,
products.
right? Okay. What are they?
They're over here.
Oh, they're over there.
Also have like this discovery kit.
Yeah.
It's like a collection of most of these items
Yeah.
that are like the top sellers. So you can choose to get the discovery kit just to try them out before you decide to buy
And the
full
Discovery
set.
is a selection of all the best
Yes.
selling items,
Of like
okay.
the top stuff.
Yeah, cool. All right, brilliant. Thanks for your help.
No
I'll
problem.
just
So
like-
at least get the discovery kit and keep this on the go.
Ah, you're doing well trying to sell me that, aren't you?
Yeah, get that because
How much
you
does
can,
that
if you
cost?
go to the gym, if you travel
Yeah.
a lot, everything in here is travel size. It's
Right.
only $16.
$16, right, okay.
It's great for men, and everything in it is like clean beauty. Like
Yeah.
nothing in there has any harsh chemicals, any preservatives. None of them. They're all free of sulfates and parabens.
Well, I think you've just done such a good job selling that to me. I think I'm going to have to get it.
Clean ingredients.
All right. Thank you.
No
I will get
problem.
this.
Yes, you should.
Thank you.
I know you travel.
Yes, I
You
do.
have that accent.
I do.
So,
Where do you think that? Where do you think that accent's from?
Huh? It sounds like Australian.
It's
Are you
Scottish.
Australian?
It's
Scottish.
Scottish.
Okay, close enough. Just close enough.
It's close enough. All right. Brilliant. Thank you very much. That's
No
really good.
problem.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate
What
it.
are you shopping for? That's what you're shopping for.
Well, I was kind of looking for my girls, maybe, you know, but
Okay, so
everywhere
do
I
that for
go,
yourself and build a box for
got
us.
a box for the girls. Go on, why not?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just do one box.
Okay. This
So
is
my
something,
daughter's
okay, so I'm going to
23.
do all the top ones
Okay,
that
go
everyone
on.
chooses. So
Yeah.
this.
And what is that?
Okay, so this is a dry shampoo.
Okay.
But it doesn't leave like that white chalky look in
Right,
your hair.
sure like that, yeah.
And it's made with oat milk instead
Okay.
of powder.
Okay.
So it still like
Yeah.
cleans your hair and you know
Brilliant.
conditions.
Yeah.
This is a leave-in treatment.
It's a what?
It's a leave-in treatment. She could carry it around in her handbag because
Right.
it's also a light moisturizer. It tames frizz and it adds shine without weighing your hair down.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
This is an organic brand, a Cure. I'm going to show you. I'm going to put it in your box with a
Yeah.
if she likes to travel, this
Yep.
right here is an
certainly
iPad.
does.
It's a collagen iPad.
She's in Peru at the moment, believe it or not.
See, and so I'm going to give it to her. It's the gold iPad that everybody knows from
Okay.
Instagram. So this is actually a texturizing spray. Most texturizing sprays are made with sea salt. This one particularly is made with sugar, so it won't dry your hair out and it will add texture.
Okay.
So here you go.
Excellent.
And that's 5.
That's it.
So you want me to put another one for your other girl?
No, that'll do, thank you.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because I've already got her Anastasia Beverly Hill makeup, so...
Fancy, okay.
I know,
Oh,
eh?
you didn't get me one.
You work for Birchbox or you work for Duane Reade?
I work for everybody. I work for everyone. I'm all over the place. You never know. Okay, so I'm going to give her a gift card.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you.
Makeup,
Okay,
dry shampoo, and a hair smoothing balm. So,
lovely.
something for
She will appreciate that.
Enjoy.
Adrian, thank you so much. Appreciate your help. Bye, bye.
So here I am in Soho in New York, and I've just been into Duane Reade, the pharmacy business. They have an in-store arrangement with Birchbox, which is the beauty subscription service. I just had the most fantastic experience with one of the ladies in there who did a really good job of serving me, explaining what all the products were, explaining about the whole Birchbox proposition. And let me tell you, she was not going to let me walk out of that store without having made a purchase. But not only did she convince me to buy a little bag of goodies for myself, she managed to sell me a Birchbox full of 5 beauty products for one of my daughters back home in the UK. I give her top marks. She delivered not only a great customer experience, but she made sure I left that store without leaving any dollars on the table. I give her, and I give Duane Reade, 10 out of 10 for the customer experience I've just had.
Hello. Do you do ship from store? No. And click and collect and all that stuff or not?
The only thing you can do is return here.
You can return here, right, okay. So, I mean, what's the connection between the store and the website,
Just the same, if you're a Prime member, you do get the same savings you do online as you do in store.
Yeah.
And then you're able to do returns here.
That's it.
Free of charge.
That's it. Okay. Cool. Thank you very much. Cheers.
So here I am outside the Amazon 4-star store in Soho, New York, and it is tipping it down Glasgow style. It's a very clever concept because what they're doing is they're bringing together all their top-rated products into one store, all the products that are trending, and we're all kind of led by what other people like us do and buy. So very clever to bring all that in from the online environment into the physical environment. It's a very strong experience, really effective visual merchandising. They highlight all their top-rated books, top-rated gadgets. There's gift guides, so a lot of really great things going on in store. The one thing that lets it down a little bit is the multi-channel proposition or lack of it. You can return items there that you may have bought online, but that's the only thing they do. There's no ship from store to home, there's no click and collect, or the sorts of things that you would expect to find in other established retail businesses. Overall, I would give my Amazon experience a very healthy 8 out of 10.
I'm pretty wet. A horrible day. I usually come in with my wife and kids when I'm in New York.
Okay.
And they always buy something, and so I'm just kind of looking, seeing if I maybe buy a gift or two.
Yeah, for sure.
Possibly.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe.
Just let us
Do you,
know.
I know you've got these changing room mirrors, they still work? Do you still?
No, not currently. We're updating
Really?
them.
You're updating them? That's terrible. What happened?
Just like needed a system update.
Oh, really? Right, because they're really good. When I talk about them, I do a lot of presenting and stuff, and I've been talking all over the world about how great they were and how they empower customers in the changing room and all the rest of it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Do you do ship from store, by the way?
Do we what?
Do you do ship from store?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I order something today, you could just send it on?
Yeah. You're gonna sale one.
Just say it on everything?
No, just the 4 racks here in the back.
Right.
The bags all along that wall, and then
Yeah.
those 4 like pocket shelves
Okay.
right there.
Yeah.
35 to 50% off.
Okay, but not the clothes then, just the accessories.
And all this.
Oh, I know these as well. Okay, cool.
But the things aren't marked, so if you have any questions,
I will let you know.
we have really good leather and it's almost half off.
Okay. How much are these bags?
I can check that for you right now. So cute for summer. Where are you from?
London. Well, originally from Scotland, but London.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when will the digital mirrors be live again?
I'm not
Don't know.
sure.
Right, okay.
So the suggested retail before tax is $248 and it comes to $149.
In the sale?
Yeah, and then the total with the tax is $162.
162.
Yeah.
What color is it? Yeah, that's nice. Okay, I'll get that.
You'll get it?
Yep.
And it has this super cute, so she can
Okay.
put like her wallet, whatever. Do you want to just put in your name and
Yeah,
your
sure.
email and everything?
Of course.
Do you want the receipt with you or in the back?
Yes, please. That us. Thank you. Thanks for your help. Cheers. Bye.
So I'm outside Rebecca Minkoff's store in Soho in New York. Rebecca Minkoff is a brand, probably the first retailer and brand that I know of, who implemented digital interactive mirrors in the changing rooms that truly put the power in the hand of the consumer, because it enabled their customers to choose other items to try on without having to leave the environment of the changing room in the first place. Unfortunately for me, today the digital mirrors are not working. They're going through an upgrade. So that was a bit of a disappointment, particularly as I know those mirrors have led to a 30% uplift in conversion and sales in the store. So it would have been nice to have seen those. The customer experience generally was good. The staff in there were very warm, very engaging, good product knowledge, told me about a sale that was on, made it very clear what items were in the sale, and they managed to sell me something as well in the process. So overall, I would give Rebecca Minkoff 8 out of 10 for a pretty good customer experience. Just a shame that those digital mirrors weren't actually operating on the day. So I've had 2 fantastic days in New York. I've been going around various stores of all shapes and sizes. I've been uptown, I've been downtown, I've been on 5th Avenue. I would put the experience in New York just a notch up from those that I've experienced so far in Glasgow, London and Newcastle. Some of the reasons for that are the warmth and engagement of the staff in the store. They're very friendly, they're very engaging, they've got great product knowledge, and actually in the main they want to sell you stuff. They don't want you to walk out the store and leave dollars on the table. So that's a big tick in the box. Generally speaking, they're using technology a little bit more than we probably are in most of our retail outlets in the UK. And also there are more staff on the shop floor here. And the consumers that I interviewed in New York told me that. They said they're less frustrated here than they are back home in Germany, back home in Sweden, back home in the UK. So I think that's a real positive and a lesson learned for our retailers back home in the United Kingdom. Get more people on the shop floor and you'll sell more stuff. I'd also say the omni-channel experience is probably a bit more advanced here. Most of the retailers here offer you the opportunity to buy in store and they will then ship to your house on the same day. That's a very compelling proposition for consumers who might not want to lug their products around with them for the rest of the day. Overall, my experience in New York has been great, and I'm going to give the retail experience in New York, so good they named it twice, 9 out of 10. I went into the Levi store in Times Square, New York, and overall it was a pretty good experience. I was greeted on the way in. I was told that there was 50% off particular product lines that day. That was great, that call to action. It wasn't 50% off everything, but nonetheless I knew there were some discounts available, so I really liked that. You've got some great guides when it comes to helping me understand what jeans to buy, so visual merchandising is very strong. I'd say one of the weaknesses is there's no ability for customers to check out quickly. There was a massive queue, particularly driven by the discount on offer that day, and quite frankly, I would have, if I were buying for real, I would have abandoned my basket, as many customers probably did. So give them the opportunity to buy through mobile point of sale. You can offer them e-receipts, you capture their data, and you allow customers the opportunity to get in and out of the store quickly. But overall, apart from that, I'd say Levi's, you're doing a pretty good job when it comes to serving customers in your store in New York. Now that's interesting, I've just gone on to Levi's, but when I went on to Levi's, which is L-E-V-I-S, there was nothing there. Not even a 404, no messaging or anything. I thought, that's really weird. I thought I'd lost Wi-Fi. Then I realised it's Levi.com. So that's interesting. There's a missed opportunity. Must be a lot of traffic going to Levi's.com and then disappearing. First thing I get is keep in touch with Levi's. Give me your email address and join. It tells me they'll send me personalised emails, but other than that, there's not a lot of value for doing it, and it's getting in the way of me shopping. So please take that away and offer me it somewhere else in the journey once I've actually made a purchase. Anyway, let's go into men, let's go into jeans. And I can see there's a call out for flip-flops. Are flip-flops £10 and slides £15 with any purchase? Well, that's good to know, but I want to buy jeans. Now I've got a live chat offer popping up on the left-hand side. Need help finding the perfect pair of jeans? Levi's, you're stressing me out. So there's a call to action there to sign up for a newsletter that I didn't want the minute I hit the website. When I key in Levi's.com, there's nothing because actually the URL is Levi.com. And now there's a live chat when I don't want it. Please, if you're going to help and offer me service, let me do it on my terms and at least give me the live chat option once I've spent a bit of time maybe on a product page or I've been on the shopping cart for more than a couple of minutes and you're worried about the fact you're maybe going to lose me. I think those are the things that if I were you, I'd fix quite quickly. Having been into the Forever 21 store in New York, I'd say it was a bit of a mixed bag as a customer experience. It certainly wasn't all bad, and you are doing some things pretty well. First of all, when I was greeted on the way in, not only by store colleagues, but also by the security guard, that was really refreshing, given that security guards often put the fear of death into you. So very warm welcome from everyone, that was great. When I was asking about ordering other sizes, I was made aware of the fact there's an app that you can download where you can choose and select from other sizes that might not be available in store. I thought that was great, but you could communicate that more effectively throughout the store, both through the staff knowledge and also through visual merchandising. There's a photo booth in the store, so you're trying your best to engage with consumers and deliver what we call experiential retail by encouraging consumers to try things on, take a picture of themselves and then share it with their friends through social media channels. When I asked your store colleague about what the ship from store proposition was, they directed me to another floor because they couldn't give me the information. They didn't have that knowledge top of mind. That's a clear staff training requirement. So if I were you, Forever 21, I'd make that one of my priorities because most customers would just walk out at that point and you lose their business. The other thing I'd say is there's a clear lack of staff on the shop floor. I find that to be an issue, as customers do in most multi-channel retailers. Get more people onto the shop floor. That way you can deliver the right levels of service. Those are the main reasons why I think you're leaving customers' dollars on the table. So I'm on Forever 21's website. I get a big old cookie message on the middle of the site. I literally can't do anything without clicking that. I think they could make that a little bit more subtle. Very strong student promotion. Call to action on the top of the website, calling all students get 15% off all year round. Shop now. That's great, given their audience is made up of a lot of students. Free standard delivery on all orders over £50 on the right hand side. So I'm on the UK version of the website. It looks like it's recognised that I'm here in the UK and it's served me up with relevant content, which is fine. Very strong promotion on the homepage about denim. Again, there's a slider there with lots of promotions. OMG sale up to 70% off, 30% off denim, and then there's a new in or just landed. And I think again that, you know, carousels really have very limited engagement, partly because again they change so quickly. It's quite hard for the consumer to sort of consume what's there, whereas a fixed promotional box like that would tend to get more engagement. 30% off dresses, so let's have a quick look in there, see if I can find a dress to buy my way for my kids. Oop, didn't mean to click that. Continue without offer, let's see. I clicked on dresses and I've got a whole bunch of tops here, which is not actually what I thought I was going into in the first place. I thought I was going into dresses. So I'm a bit confused now. Maybe I didn't select what I thought it was. It's 30% off dresses versus 30% off tops. What is that all about? All right, let's go to tops. There's a quick view function on the product detail page. There's ratings and reviews, but nobody's rated this product yet. Students get 10% off all year round. Ooh, hang on a minute. That's interesting. So the top of the website, calling all students get 15% off all year round. And on the product page, students get 10% off all year round. And there's an asterisk, which always tells me there's a clause, but I'm really confused now because I don't know whether it's 10% or 15%. Thankfully, I'm not a student, but if I were, I would have no idea what the offer was at that moment in time. Add to cart, go and see, ooh, we hate goodbyes. Well, I'm not leaving. So all of a sudden, this promotion's come up. We hate goodbyes, so here's something to get us back on track. £5 off your first purchase. I've just added something to my bag. That's really weird. And then this offer has sprung up. So I think they really need to look at the functionality around that offer because, first of all, I'm already making a decision to buy something. You don't need to offer me £5 if I don't actually need it because I've already decided I want to buy it. So you're only going to lose margin there. So I think you need to look at the functionality around the £5 offer. You definitely need to make sure the messaging is consistent because there's two clear calls to action for students. One that says I get 15% off all year round, and another that says 10% off all year round. Make sure your web team are checking the website every day, looking at the copy, looking at the content, and making it sure that it's fully intuitive for all of your customers. I went into Covergirl's flagship store in Times Square, New York. For those of you who don't know, Covergirl is a brand usually sold through other people's retail stores. This is their first own standalone flagship store. And I have to say, from the first point to the last point of my experience, it was fantastic. All the technology that's in play in the store is there to serve a purpose when it comes to selling products. They've got an interactive mirror where when you pick up a product, it automatically applies that. So I picked up a lipstick. Yes, applied the lipstick to my face, applied eyeliner, and it gave me an idea of what the makeup would look like without me even having to try it on. So a real sales driver, it had a real strong commercial value. The staff were brilliant, they were so engaging. There was training going on in the store. Overall, if you want to know what true experiential retail looks like, get yourself to the Covergirl store in New York. They're leveraging technology to drive sales, to remove friction, and the staff are absolutely fantastic. Here I am on covergirl.com. And there's a lot going on here. I did see a message a minute ago again about signing up for the newsletter, but thankfully they took it away. There's some very important information here that I can access on the top navigation around cruelty-free, how-tos, which I am assuming is a makeup guide, bestsellers. Let's go into bestsellers and see how they're going to inspire me. There's 10 items in the best-selling selection here. I'd quite like to know how many people are buying these products. Are they really bestsellers, or are they just products that they're pushing me? Anyway, I can see that there's a cruelty-free message, which is very important in relation to, you know, the product development behind the makeup that they're selling. If I click on that product and go down to our product detail page, there's some great messaging here on the right-hand side that tells me I'm on the overview. Then I can click product benefits and it takes me there automatically. Then I can click customer reviews, or I can see the look. So that's really good, saves me the bother of even scrolling up and down the page. Is there any information around, well, there's buying options, which I'll look at in a minute. I don't see, again, anything around delivery and returns, which I'm quite surprised about because I do want to see that at this stage of the journey. Let's click on buying options. And then it tells me, because again, Covergirl are not selling direct to consumer through their own website, they're selling through other channels. So this is really interesting, but they're actually telling you where you can buy the products and they're linking direct to those retailers. So I can buy it on Amazon and I can see the price. I can buy it in Walmart, I can buy it in Target, I can buy it in Walgreens, CVS, Ulta, whom I've never heard of. So let's click on CVS. Oh, and that's a bit of a disappointment. And that's where the journey breaks down, because CVS.com is not available to customers or patients who are located outside of the US. So that's where that sort of affiliate model, if you like, where Covergirl are pushing the sale to one of their distributors, that's where it breaks down. I can understand why. There's not really any way around that, because they're mainly going to be pushing sales to their customers in the States. They're obviously not recognizing the fact I'm in the UK. There is a country selector here, but it doesn't offer the UK, it only offers the US, Canada, and Australia, which is a bit disappointing. Overall, it's a pretty good experience, and I now realize the reason why they haven't talked about delivery and returns is because they're not selling the products directly to the customer, and in actual fact that they're giving you the opportunity to buy through their retailers that they're wholesaling to in the first place. I went into the Duane Reade pharmacy in Soho, New York, case you don't know, Duane Reade is owned by Walgreens, the largest retailer in the world, and I had a great experience. I was actually going in there wanting to find out what the Birchbox proposition was all about. So Birchbox is a subscription service where you pay and they send you a selection of beauty products on a monthly basis. And I have to say, I met this amazing lady who was not going to let me leave that store without buying something. And I've been amazed how many retailers I've been into where nobody's tried to sell me anything. You know, at the end of the day, customers walk into a store, they're there probably because they want to buy something. They might just be browsing, but it is an opportunity to sell me something, and she did a brilliant job of that. I suppose the main call out for my visit to Duane Reade store in Soho, New York is not actually any advice to the business. It's for anyone else watching this. Your staff are there to serve a purpose. They're there to deliver great service, and they're there to sell products. Make sure they know how to do that. So I've keyed in Duane Reade and it's brought me to Walgreens.com. So I do know, because I've been into the Duane Reade store in New York, that it's owned by Walgreens, but I'm slightly disappointed, I guess, not to find, am I on Duane Reade? It's Duane Reade by Walgreens, but then there's the Walgreens logo at the top of the website. So quite frankly, at the moment, I'm not actually sure what website I'm on. Anyway, let's click on shop and then we'll find out. So when I go down, when I click on shop, and I get down to a product level, I actually don't know where I am now. I think I'm on the Walgreens website, and I know that you own Duane Reade, but why wouldn't you allow me, or why wouldn't you as a brand still promote the Duane Reade branding at this point in the customer journey? I know you're a bigger brand, but if I'd been into the physical store as I did in Soho in New York, then if I wanted to continue my journey online, I'd be a little bit perplexed by this. Maybe if I lived in the US, I would understand why this is not the case. Anyway, let's just have a quick look at the website. Buy one, get one free on the homepage of the shop. Very clear call to action there. Buy two, get a third free oral care. So there's some very strong promotional options. There's 20% off all contacts. I'm presuming that's contact lenses. So I'll click on that. And then the first thing I get is, we'd welcome your feedback. Would you take a brief survey so we can improve your experience on your website? No, because I'm giving you my free advice right now, and that is, continue the Duane Reade branding, and don't give me a pop-up that asks for my feedback until I'm ready to leave the website, because that is going to force me to abandon. So sorry Walgreens, sorry Duane Reade, I'm out. I went into Amazon's 4-star plus store in Soho, New York. So this is another retail proposition that they're starting to roll out. And bearing in mind that as consumers, we're all generally led by what other people like us like and do and buy. So that's why the 4-star plus rated products really works, because it's all their best-selling and trending lines on Amazon.com. Great store experience, really well visually merchandised, great customer service, all the sorts of things you'd expect Amazon to be doing in a physical environment. Even on the way out, they give you the opportunity to rate the customer experience. So they've really thought through the levels of service end to end. I did find the staff knowledge around the multi-channel proposition again to be a little bit short of where it could be. But overall, I would say Amazon are doing physical retail pretty much as well as they're doing online retail. I've been into Rebecca Minkoff's store in New York a few times, and the thing I really liked about it was that they had interactive mirrors in the changing rooms, which really empower the customer because they put you in control. So when you get changed in the dressing room, rather than having to get dressed and undressed again to go out onto the shop floor to find another product to try on, they just allow you to scroll through all the other styles that are available. Unfortunately for me, the mirrors weren't working. I was told they were going through an upgrade, which was really disappointing because I've been told in the past that they've driven a 30% uplift in sales. In terms of the staff, their engagement was great. They were very warm. They knew the product really well. They knew the multi-channel proposition really well. I'd just like to see Rebecca Minkoff fix the technology and get back to empowering customers at the main point of friction, which is the changing room in your particular environment. So I'm on Rebecca Minkoff's website. I'm in the UK version. Let's see if I can get, I'm going to pick the States. And dollars. Oh, there's a call to action at the bottom there, save 15% to get the latest news and save on your first order. So like a lot of those websites I've been on, they're looking to capture my data, but at least they're offering me something. Save 15% today and get the latest news and save on your first order. So that's great. There's a reason to give you my data. So I'm going to click on shop now, and I'm going to go to the US version of RebeccaMinkoff.com, and I'm going to go into clothing, going into new arrivals. There's a lot of products in white. I guess that's appropriate for the summer. There's a quick view function. Let's click on this Cassidy dress. It says new styles added, now up to 75% off. So that was the promotion I saw, and I've gone to the product detail page. It doesn't look like there's any discount. I can buy with, ooh, oh, hang on a minute. Oh, that's weird. So all of a sudden that promotion came up again, but I can't see it. It's not discounting down the product. I can see that I can pay in 4 interest-free installments of $49.50 through Afterpay. That's a pretty good customer experience, particularly for the millennial target audience, which will be the core of Rebecca Minkoff's customer base. But I don't see anything about a discount. There's a call to action or an urgency call telling me there's only a few left in stock, so that's great. So I better add it to my bag now. There is some messaging around domestic shipping and returns, which is free, but nothing around international delivery. So let's check out and see what happens. I can pay by Amazon, or I can pay with PayPal as well. So I'm on the checkout now, and it clearly shows me all the different stages, and so I get an idea of how long it's going to take me to actually complete my purchase, which is pretty good. But it didn't take me to the bag or offer me an opportunity, or no, it says I'm on my bag, but now I feel like I'm in the checkout. The checkout's enclosed. There's no option for me to go elsewhere other than complete my purchase. And although that might work on some sites for some customers, it doesn't always work on others in terms of driving conversion. So let's click on the logo. That'll hopefully take me back to the home page. Yeah, so I think my main call out there for Rebecca Minkoff would be, what's your messaging? If you're going to have a 75% off banner, particularly on a category which includes new in products, and it's linked to those products, then I click on a product and go to the product page and I don't see that offer anywhere, then I think there's a danger of you losing me at that point. So maybe that banner shouldn't be there. It says new styles added, sale up to 75% off. Right, so now I get the messaging. The messaging is, we've added new styles and also there's a sale. But it's really cheeky because it's trying to make out that the new styles added are also in the sale, but they're not. And I think that's going to disappoint more customers than it is going to convert. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this episode of my mystery shopping from the wonderful New York, New York. So good they named it twice, and it was pretty good.